Now, here's a perfect example of wokeness in video games. Is that thing when you see it, you know it's woke? Like, there's no definition of it, but like anyone that sees it immediately recognizes for what it is. So, in the new Call of Duty, apparently you can do this, right? So, many people are saying that it's promoting drug use, right? It's got the sound effects and everything. I don't even know why this isn't a Call of Duty game. Like, I gotta say, I haven't played Call of Duty in ages. But I guess, like, this is the Rick and mortification of it. Where, like, everything has to be quirky and shit. Now, the reason people are upset about it is that this is also a game where you can't curse. So, you see, it creates this weird dissonance. It's a mature game, but, like, apparently you can't curse because, why? They're protecting kids? It's a mature game, right? And there's no, like, choice to select. It's like, all right, well, I want to play on a server where I can shit talk, where I can say slurs, with other people that consent to listening to said slurs and saying them back. Because that's how it was when I grew up on Xbox. You see, most people don't understand masculinity. But we usually relax not by crying. We usually relax by doing banter and trash talking in a safe environment. And I think that online gaming constitutes a safe environment. So, like, people who would want to go out there and just do banter and tell Skullfuck47 what they want to do with his mom, I think there should be a place for that. But we can't have that because we live in the culture of safetyism. So safetyism is not being allowed to curse, but promoting drug use. That is woke as fuck. You know, what is the difference of woke? I don't know, but this probably is it. And it's interesting because when you go to the comment section, you see people defending this and saying, oh, it's not like promoting fentanyl or other hardcore drugs. It's just pot. It's like, no, it's the principle, right? That's the issue. Someone else is like, oh, it's just like drugs. Why are you upset? I'm not upset. Like, this is the thing. It's a video game. They should do whatever. I mean, it's a video game where you kill people. The drug use is the least of the problem. It's Call of Duty, right? Like, you play as a mercenary shooting other people. That's literally the thing. And so, that's not the issue. What the issue is that they decide that as a company, they should be moral busybodies and ban people for swearing. That is the issue. Now, if you want to be moral busybody, you have to do it all the way. Like, the entire game should be sanitized, if that's the case. But instead, what we notice is that you get to pick and choose. So the only reason that they have a weapon that looks like a bong is to appeal to leftists. Like, they don't have shit that appeals to right-wingers, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a possibility to salute an American flag or to raise an American flag or anything like that? Is there, like, patriotism? Because I knew, like, Call of Duty used to have that. But there was a time when, again, like, Call of Duty would take place in a lot of Middle Eastern campaigns. And it would make sense because at the time, America was invested in the Middle East, and that's what people saw on the television. So, like, that's what people wanted to do in their entertainment. They wanted to understand the conflict a little bit more, and, you know, like, maybe not, but, like, it was an opportunity for the gamers to actually have, like, some genuine real-world ideology, because, like, there were games that actually helped me learn more about history, like the Total War series. They had, like, those snippets, those lore bits about the Roman Empire, and they were wrote by a team of historians that actually got you involved into reading more about history. Now, with Call of Duty, they could have done the same. Like, they could have had conflicts in the Middle East and actually tell people about what those conflicts are and, you know, get a little bit of lore and information. But instead, you know, they chose to distance themselves from that and just make, like, the game have, like, a Middle Eastern aesthetic. But leftists complained that they said, no, like, this is hateful, this is bad, right? So now you have games where actually you're fighting on behalf of the Americans, but the government is evil. Like there's the shadowy cabal in the government, and I noticed that when I stopped playing Call of Duty, that was pretty much every single time the theme. Like either an American corporation that's bad, or an American politician that's evil, or some arm of the government is corrupted. Like the enemy is always within. It's always within America. And for some reason that's not offensive, right? So like for saying that, okay, well, the enemy is in the Middle East, that's very offensive. But to say that the enemy is within the nation state, it's the evil corporation, that's fine. Like I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a story where the enemy is within, and you're fighting against the shadowy cabal from the government. Like that's fine, but like when you understand the criticism that came before that, and when you understand the reason they started making that, and then they started making like enemies that make no sense, like incredibly sanitized shit. Like the last Call of Duty that I played, forgot what it was called, but the story didn't make sense at all. It was basically an enemy that was against technology, but they used like the most advanced high tech possible. You had like exosuits and shit. And I'm like, well, hold on a little bit. Like, that ideology is specifically designed to not mirror any existential ideology we have. And, unless you want to say that they're hypocrites, but even then, it didn't really make sense why they would be like that. And you understand, like, now the game is designed for the journalist. Now the game is designed to not upset the journalist, to not offend. And that is part of wokeness. It's like removing anything that would make the game look cool and interesting and get people more involved into something that's so sanitized that when you play it, you just feel nothing. Another good example with this, I forgot the name of it. I think it's World at War, the one where you're actually fighting in Stalingrad and in Russia, and it's got like the World War II feel to it, like you're generally feeling that you're fighting a desperate battle. Like, that was cool. And then years later, when they made another Call of Duty where you play as a woman that has it's still in Stalingrad, but you're a woman that carries an MG42 with one arm, and she gets to climb walls like Spider-Man. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the answer is the girl boss, right? It's the girl boss thing. Like you can't just have historically accurate, well, not necessarily like historically accurate, but like at least to have the developers to try to create the vibe, the feel that a soldier that was fighting for his motherland probably experienced. No, instead you gotta show, no, this is a strong woman in Stalingrad. Look how she's BTFOing everyone, and it's because she's a strong woman, and she's carrying an MG42 like it's nothing, and it's like, I streamed that game, I remember, and the chat felt the same. But yeah, this is a video for people that keep asking what is woke, what is woke. Is this fucking nonsense? And it bothers me. Like, why can't people curse? There's no reason why people shouldn't curse. Now you can make the argument, well, okay, I don't like hearing people curse. Then fucking mute. Fucking use the mute button. And then the argument is like, well, yeah, but like I don't want to use the mute button. Alright, well, how about if servers just allowed for people that want to curse and for people that don't want to curse? No, that's not good either. I remember like Microsoft actually had that, and it was, I think for Word, like it would censor most of the slurs and the curse words, but it had the slider, and the left freaked out. It's like, oh, so like this is the N-word slider. Like they just don't want people to be able to consent. Like if a black man, for instance, wants to play Call of Duty and he actually wants to use the word and he doesn't care if someone uses it back, and he wants to use such a server, they would freak out. They don't want that. And yeah, that's woke, like trying to control people, especially when it comes to language and tone policing in a video game, of all things. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.